bonkers clown car driving, borderline racist idiots. People like Ted Cruz.
Yeah, talking to you, Ted
Rick
Cruz.
Santorum and Mike Huckabee, and even crazier people that we haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah, I'm feeling.
What could happen is that Jeb, Romney, and Chris Christie make it difficult for any of them to get the nomination, and then they allow for a Ted Cruz, for example, to squeeze through.
Yeah. Oh, it couldn't happen to a nicer party. Carl, you, of all your many fine qualities, one of them is not being gracious in victory. You tweeted of marriage equality in Florida. Suck it, Anita Bryant.
That's right.
Hashtag gracious in victory. Hashtag never give up.
With the comparisons of the two Miami Herald front page newspapers.
Right. It's been about 40, just shy of 40 years, I guess. It was 1977.
Yeah, something like that.
So, just shy of 40 years since this whole epic struggle at the ballot box began. And if people, we've had a lot of discussions over the marriage equality issue, that this is not based on animus, it's simply based on what's better for children, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
All you have to do to know is go back to the beginning when it started, when the fight against LGBT equality started at the ballot box, to know that every single time it's been put to a vote, the people pushing to not give LGBT people simple human dignity have been doing so from a position of animus. And it started with Anita Bryant, and, a pie in the face couldn't have happened to a nicer person.
Anita Bryant is, how she is. A day without it's like a day without sunshine for her.
And I had no idea that she was still alive.
Oh, yeah.
There's that.
With her, third husband, because,
Because marriage sanctity.
Right, of course.
I think Oklahoma, and he is apparently a crook. He's been investigated for stealing and stuff.
Oh, nice.
There's a profile about this a couple years ago. But
that's weird.
I mean, she basically, after LGBT people started marching forward and winning some battles, she kind of just retreated from the limelight.
Yeah. Well, and a couple other big stories in that regard. Moving us forward, you see Lena Dunham of Girls won't wed until gay marriage is legalized across the U.S. She said, I will not walk down the aisle until her lesbian sister Grace has the same legal right to wed as she does anywhere in America. Well, she's happy when musician Jack Antonoff, is that his name?
Antonoff?
He's Fun Period.
Yeah, the guy from Fun.
Right. And she said it's really important for us to wait because we both have a lot of gay friends, and the idea of skipping ahead of them doesn't feel good to us. I don't want to do something my gay sister Grace can't do in a number of states.
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie said the same thing, and then they got married.
Well, they went wobbly on us, but Lena Dunham is not going to.
You have to imitate everything you see on
Stephanie Miller.
We're 12, so yes.
That leads to underage drinking.
It is the Stephanie Miller Show. Welcome to it, 34 minutes after the hour. 1-800-STEP-1-2, the phone number. Toll free from anywhere. Charlie Pierce of Esquire.com coming up. Jody Hamilton live in studio. Bob Seska. Very, very exciting show. Thank you, Travis Bone, for booking your fingers to the bone.
To the bone.
I try.
See? When I did that?
See what I did.
Got a good one for you tomorrow.
Pardon me?
Got a good one for you tomorrow.
Ed Olson.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Tashina Arnold live in studio
on Thursday.
Very exciting. Very exciting. Okay, and here's your job is to have a life while the rest of us cannot.
Yes.
So you saw a movie?
I'm the expert on American Sniper because I'm the only one who's seen it.
I've seen a talkie. Yeah, you're my guest this hour because
I actually watched it
because I never leave the house. Yes. So American Sniper is causing all this controversy, all this Twitter war.
Well, I would just like to point out I think this says everything about America.
Yes.
American Sniper made $90 million this weekend. Right. Selma made $8.
Oh.
I think that kind of says everything.
And Charlie Pierce, by the way, wrote a great piece about Selma. We'll talk to him about. He saw the movie and thought it totally got robbed by the Academy Awards. That it was great. And interestingly,
it's up for Best Picture. Oh, I think people are forgetting that.
But Charlie makes the point that that it was a war, that the heroes on that bridge were really like generals in a But that's interesting. So this is what always happens, about historically, right? About war and whether we're glorifying war or we're just thanking soldiers for their service. There's always a difference. So I mean everybody, right? We had Michael Moore, Newt Gingrich, everybody, all these sides.
They got into it yesterday.
Yeah. What did you think of the movie? First of all,
I am glad I saw it. And I get why America turned out to see this because, I mean, it is guns and America and patriotism. And they came here and killed our guys, so I'm going to go over there and kill a bunch of them. I mean, that is what the message of the movie is.
Yeah. And Clint Eastwood directed it, which, I mean, and the other thing is, he was not, even though you knew he was Republican, he was not that sort of politicized till that crazy
speech.
chair talking thing that was just, I thought not just crazy, but really disrespectful to the president. And so already that's charged because you're like, okay.
Yeah.
So he has a point of view. But anyway, the war drama racked up surprising 6 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture. Directed by Clint Eastwood, the film tells the real-life tale of Chris Kyle, played by Bradley Cooper, of course.
Apparently he's very good in it.
He's great in it. There's no doubt about that. It's just...
And so did he get a nomination?
Yes, he did.
Okay, then it's probably well-deserved.
And he got 3 nominations 3 years in a row for Best Actor.
Okay.
He was supposedly the most lethal sniper in U.S. military history. Nicknamed Legend, the Navy SEAL served 4 tours in Iraq, received several commendations for valor, and racked up 160 confirmed kills, though he later claimed the actual number was 255. And then I remember talking about this, ironically, sadly, for our gun culture in this country, he was killed at a shooting range in Texas, remember?
Yes.
Not too long ago.
Yeah. By a Marine veteran suffering from PTSD. So there's like all sorts of issues in this whole, in terms of a war and all of that. So Jane Fonda, I'm surprised Jane Fonda would tweet about war.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me.
But she did.
Yeah.
She tweeted, "Just saw American Sniper, powerful. Another view of coming home," which the war film that she was in.
Right.
Bradley Cooper, sensational. Bravo, Clint Eastwood. And she had also just about, what was this, a couple days ago? She apologized again for going to Hanoi and having that
sitting
picture
on that
taken.
gun. Yeah.
She's called her trip a huge mistake. Anyway, while Fonda supported the film and its sympathy for PTSD suffering military vets, other celebrities homed in on what you were saying, sort of the jingoistic pro-war message. Yeah.
But was it just reflecting the mood of the country at the time?
No, because I mean, like every once in a while, you would see like another soldier, like he was like the sniper.
Right, but first of all, Iraq had nothing to do with 9/11. So this is what my problem with it.
We all know that.
I know.
But the mood of the country at the time was rah-rah war.
This was my point with Zero Dark 30, though. It's supposed to be historically accurate. And because torture happened at the same time that we got, in that time period, torture did not lead to us getting bin Laden. And it very clearly made it seem like torture worked. And
I really believe that there's a large percentage of this country that feels and reacts just like Bradley Cooper did in the movie, or Chris Kyle did, I should say, in real life, where they saw the World Trade Centers collapse, and they're like, I'm going and signing up now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go over there, I'm going to kill them. They killed us.
Absolutely. That was the mood of the country at the time.
Seth Rogen, who apparently has not had enough controversy, tweeted, he said, American Sniper kind of reminds me of the movie that's showing in the third act of Inglourious Bastards, which he's referring to, the Nazi propaganda film in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards. Here, Rogen is essentially comparing American Sniper to a faux Nazi propaganda flick. So Michael Moore jumps in. He said, my uncle killed by a sniper in World War II. We were taught snipers were cowards. We'll shoot you in the back. Snipers aren't heroes, and invaders are worse. So then, of course, Newt Gingrich tweets, Michael Moore should spend a few weeks with ISIS and Boko Haram. Then he might appreciate American Sniper. I'm proud of our defenders.
He just needs to shut up.
Yeah, he needs to, frankly, just shut his pie hole. But I mean, what an interesting hornet's this is of
yeah, you know what? I don't know if it's completely black or white here.
Well, I mean, it is interesting that it starts with Jane Fonda, where this goes back to we shouldn't have blamed the soldiers for a war.
And war messes you up.
To be sent into.
War messes you up.
Yeah.
It makes you bad in the head when you go over there and do it.
And you see all of that, but but you don't see what he goes through to get back to normal. Yeah. And I don't know. And then
was that in his book?
I didn't read the book. All I know is I saw the movie.
The irony of him being killed by another soldier suffering the effects of war, and I say,
and they didn't really
in my case.
Spoiler alert.
No, but I mean, but in my case, that was the ginormous, whatever you want to call it, triple, quadruple tragedy of Iraq. Is
Absolutely.
We didn't even need to go in the first place, let alone all of these, soldiers that came back, wounded mentally and otherwise. But anyway, yeah. Interesting stuff. Now I may have to see it, although, I don't.
No, you don't. You won't be able to make it through the first 10 minutes. There's a hunting scene.
My barometer of a good movie is either Sandra Bullock or Julia Roberts is in it.
I don't think either one of them is in it.
No.
Although, Sienna Miller, is that who?
Yeah, she plays his wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
And she's quite lovely.
She's done a rom-com or two.
Like the Pretty Shiny Girls.
Yeah. She's done a rom-com.
Oh, pretty. Oh, Smiley. Yay.
Yeah, you wouldn't make it through the first 5 minutes of this movie.
No.
Yeah, there's a hunting scene.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, animals are killed? No.
Yep.
No, I'm out.
Computer says no.
I don't care if it's the most important debate in America. I'm out. Okay. We have Bradley Cooper talked about it.
Yeah, on CNN.
Who played, obviously, the sniper.
Hopefully, if we tell it accurately, other servicemen and women will say, wow, that's actually something that I can relate to. And it's about the struggles that people go through being at war and being at home. Because more military vets are coming back than ever before because of medical advancements. And we have to take care of them. And that's if there's any message at all, that would be a little keyhole into the world of a vet. And their family, more as importantly.
I was talking about this new memorial. It's opened, a new veterans memorial that opened in D.C. I think it was this past year. But I loved one of the quotes on it. It said, "In war, there are no unwounded soldiers." And that's a lot of the themes of this whole thing. But anyway, yeah. If it weren't violent, I would go see the war movie.
Yeah.
I'm totally in. What is it? Sleepless in Seattle. The men and women at the table.
I've never seen Sleepless in Seattle.
I saw it when I was in high school.
Anyway, Chris, there's a scene where the guys are crying about war movies and the girls are crying about romantic comedies, and that's just how it goes.
Sure.
Okay.
I saw Boyhood over the weekend.
What's that about?
What's that about?
Well, I assume it's about boyhood, but if
who's in it?
Ethan Hawke.
And
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette in it.
All right.
And it was filmed over the course of 12 years. It followed this one boy and his family over, it starts out when he was 6, it ends when he's 18.
Oh, okay, I have heard of it.
It was so good.
Oh, wow. See, isn't that something when my flapping wires? Oh,
yeah.
That was in a commercial on MSNBC somewhere.
It was really, really good.
I think it was just a way of saving on the makeup aging budget.
Well.
Yeah. All right. More importantly, back here in political nerdland where I live.
Yeah.
It's State of the Union night. Woohoo! Thank you for faking that. I appreciate it.
Oh, no, I'm going to drink this thing.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Oh, are you? What is your drinking game?
Well, every time Boehner rolls his eyes. And every time
You'll
Joni
put an
Ernst,
extra olive in your martini?
Yes, and every time Joni Ernst makes a reference to pigs or castrating.
Okay. All right. Drink up, everybody. Okay. The president talking about the big speech tonight.
This State of the Union gives me an opportunity to present to the American people, now that we have fought our way through the crisis, how do we make sure that everybody in this country, how do we make sure that they're sharing in this growing economy?
I don't know. Let's ask noted poverty warrior Mitt Romney. Poverty warrior! Oh my God, warrior! Yeah, he's precious. Okay. Dan Pfeiffer, senior White House advisor.
Now that the economy is in a stronger place than it's been in a very long time, we need to double down on our efforts to deal with wage stagnation and declining economic mobility. And so the simple proposition that we should ask the wealthy to pay a little more and invest more in the middle class, give the middle class a raise.
Yes, Republican lawmakers already signaling they will do what they can to block what? President Obama's pitch for tax increases on the wealthiest Americans. There they are, fighting for that top 1% again. Boehner spokesperson. By the way, Boehner is speaker. Why does he need a speaker? Why does he need a spokesperson? Why does the speaker need a speaker?
Because he's drunk and he can't speak for himself.
Well, the speaker said more Washington tax hikes because he has to say it the same way.
Sure.
Boehner would.
It's job requirement.
And spending is the same old top-down approach we've come to expect from President Obama that hasn't worked. Oh, hasn't worked except that unemployment has dropped to historic lows and had historic job gains and
you know, it didn't work. Any of the stuff we tried under Bush.
Deficit down, everything hasn't worked. How can they say it hasn't worked anymore?
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
All right.
The economy's really chugging along here.
Marco
Rubio.
Yes.
Oh yes.
He had some thoughts on this.
The notion, first of all, that in order for some people to do better, someone has to do worse is just not true. Raising taxes on people that are successful is not going to make people that are struggling more successful.
Yes, actually.
You know who's done better and who's done worse lately? rich people have done really, really well, and people in the middle class have done really, really bad. So it does work that way. Marco?
Do you have some rich people music? Because this is, wow. The richest 1% to own more than half of the world's wealth by 2016.
Wow.
According to a new study. Wow. Let's pause to let that sink in.
Yeah, that's all.
The rich keep getting richer. By next year, just a handful of the upper class will have accumulated more than half of the world's wealth. A new report by Oxfam warns this deepening global inequality is unlike anything seen in recent years. The richest 1% of the world's population currently controls 40